project was a 5-year project funded by the Big Lottery to explore how people's involvement in participatory arts or time bank volunteering or some creative planning with an independent planner could help people develop their confidence, self-esteem, capacity and basically get better connected in their local community. All local authorities have got a responsibility and I suppose a duty to try and promote social inclusion, and unfortunately within social work we don't have the opportunity always to use our own resourcing for that. So the way we'd approached that responsibility was to look at external funding to explore the role that participatory arts could play in helping people become more included, more involved citizens, and that's the background to how the project came about. In terms of participatory arts, the feedback we've had from participants and family members of participants has, I suppose, largely outstripped our initial expectations in terms of the growth in people's confidence, self-esteem, sense of connectedness, improved mental health and well-being, personal capacity to move on from the project. A lot of people that we've talked to about the project said that that's been kind of one of the kind of key factors for them. I think the kind of range of opportunities that were offered within participatory arts were huge, and again, probably we weren't able to imagine at the start that that's exactly what would happen. And thinking about some of the linkages to the Scottish Mental Health Arts and Film Festival, the Well Factor events, the mother of all events, and some of the kind of linkages that came out of that. I mean, we couldn't have foreseen that children from a local primary school would be performing acrobatics on a stage at the same time as people with a learning disability who previously had maybe been a bit isolated from mainstream life were performing, and the fact that parents, aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters all came along, I think demonstrated that people with additional support needs aren't second-class citizens. They're people with talents and enthusiasms and interests and hobbies and messages and powerful messages about inclusion and involvement in everyday life that through the project have reached a much wider audience, and in turn that's, I suppose, created greater tolerance and understanding and community capacity.
This film shows some of the arts projects that have taken place over the final year of the Big Lottery funded NL Connections project. The workshops have been delivered by Bazooka Arts, and all workshops have aimed to help create social connections for people and to help people build positive mental health and well-being through arts participation.
Before I ever came to an art class or knew Bazooka Arts existed, I was quite lonely and had no confidence. Well, I also had a mental health problem as well as being a carer. I was never a painter or dealt on arts or looked at arts, but when I started going to these classes, it made me start to think about colour, things around me, and look at things in a different way, which made me forget about my daily caring life and also my mental health, because I was around other people who made me feel strong, and it was very exciting every day going to some new project.
I kind of feel like all the good parts of me are due to her. I'm very proud and lucky to have had her.
You need to have more confidence in yourself. You need to believe in yourself and be strong.
That you are not alone. You are never alone. There are billions of people in this world, and
Stop
a few
worrying.
of them are more like
I promise you it works, and life gets a lot better if you live that way.
I believe it's within you to do anything you
Vegas.
wish for.
Spend a fortune on the roulette machines and remember to use your pension money to do it. Go hill walking and try to ski down the Cairngorms in your pyjamas.
I think that unspoken sadness can inspire us, in its own way. It lies beneath the surface, and it springs up every now and again in poetry or art. It connects us in empathy to other people's sorrow.
I've been taking part in the creative writing at the hospital, which I found to be extremely helpful. Initially, when I heard about the class being held, I thought it was some type of fancy calligraphy or whatever, and thought, oh, I'll never be able to do this, only to discover when I went along that it was something that everybody could do and everybody could participate in. And it's just great to do, and it's great to see, oh, that rhymes, oh, I never thought I could do that. It's just great, and it's such a confidence builder. And the textiles, again, thinking, oh, I'll never be able to do anything with that. And here I've appeared with 2 different wee things that I think are just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm really pleased with myself. It's given me a bit more confidence in myself, which I think was totally way down there somewhere. When you go to these classes, it just totally takes everything away that's going on in your head, and you're concentrating on what you're actually doing at the time. Definitely made a big, big difference to myself. Very much so.
Class I went along to was an art class. It was designing a fabric, and the fabric at the end of the workshop would be made into a cushion. But what I didn't know was how relaxing, and I just loved it, just sitting there and just playing with paint and making patterns and designs and chatting, having a cup of tea, meeting folk I'd never seen before. Really was looking for something. At that time, I just lost my sister a few months previously, and I just didn't know what to do with myself, and here I was in amongst new friends, new activities. Just loved it. I had this beautiful cushion at the end of it all to take home and show everyone. What was even more exciting was they told me that it was going to the art school, it was going to be printed there, and they were going to have this thing that I had made on a bit of paper and put on the computer and printed out and made into fabric. So that was fabulous. And then I went on to do lots of other things. Classes I went along to was holographic printing. I was really looking forward to it, although I didn't know what I was letting myself in for. But we got there, the instructor was really nice and helpful and made us quite comfortable about what we were doing. We were going to use scraps of textured paper and fabrics and put them onto a heavy card to make a plate for our print. So we tried all sorts of ideas, and it was just fun cutting out little bits of paper and making shapes and forming a picture. We did that for about 2 days. When we were taken along to a studio in Glasgow. Oh, that big wow factor. We went there and just couldn't believe it. There we were in the studio where John Byrne did his printing, had his prints made, and Elizabeth Blackadder, all these very famous people, and there we were standing with our little prints in the workshop, and we were going to be doing printing. And then we had the opportunity of inking up the plates and using the oil-based colours, and we had a nice, I think we had blacks and bronzes to begin with. We put our prints on the press and were allowed to sort of start the machine and watch it printing it, and then when we took a print off the press, there we had it on display. You just couldn't believe how professional it looked, and to see the final product, it was absolutely fabulous. I just felt, there I am, me, John Byrne, and my wee print. So it was great fun, loved it.
Well, I've been coming to this silk painting class for almost 3 years and I really love it. I look forward to coming every Thursday. Takes me out the house. So relaxing and therapeutic. I've got a lot of nice pictures and cushion covers made with my silk paintings. Everybody that comes into my house remarks on them. And I really enjoy the company. That's all I can say about it. I just love it. I hope it never stops.
Well, I enjoy coming here on a Thursday. The company is great. And the pictures that I do is smashing. In fact, when I first started, I couldn't even do a matchstick. So there it is, and she's getting me all worked up. And my paintings they've got sold, they're out display, and the teacher is very good. She says I'm very good at it.
Some people think you need to be confident to do drama, when in fact some of the best actors are very shy people. But they can perform confidence, and the more you perform confidence, the more confident you become.
Are you a vase of flowers? Yeah. That's beautiful.
If a person can find the courage to come to the first workshop, then they usually find out that taking part is fun. We often use games and exercises to help people relax and lose their inhibitions. And by focusing on a game, people are soon singing, dancing, acting, and working creatively with other people without realising they're doing it. They've forgotten their worries and they've forgotten their self-consciousness. In drama workshops, people get to try out different ways of acting. Acting as if they're really confident, as if they're shy, they're happy, they're sad, as if they're going on holiday to an exotic location or they're going for a job interview. They get to rehearse everyday situations that they may find difficult in real life, and then to have the experience of doing that in a drama workshop helps them take that back to their everyday situation and make changes. Drama builds confidence and communication skills through practical experience. You can be anyone or do anything in drama. And having done it in a rehearsal situation, it gives you the self-belief that you can make real changes in your everyday reality.
My name's Denise and I've been taking part in the Bazooka Arts for a few years now, and I feel as if it's really good. It takes your mind off of everything else that's happening all round about. You're meeting people and you're listening to how they deal with different issues in their life as well. The drama, it is really, really good because it gives you a chance to express yourself. So if you are a shy person, it sort of brings out your inner self, and it gives you that wee bit of confidence to go ahead and meet people, talk to people, and how you counteract towards, what's happening to them and what you're doing. Sometimes it makes you happy, sometimes it makes you sad, and through drama you can bring that out.
I've been working with a group from Lanarkshire on a radio play that they developed from an exercise where they were trying to modernise fairy tales, and they chose Little Red Riding Hood. What was interesting, what was nice about it was they were bringing in issues from their own lives into the workshops and trying to explore concerns that they had at the time. So they decided to modernise Red Riding Hood using their own lives, giving it a twist, giving it a lot of humour, giving it a lot of really funky characters. So Seeing Red was born.
My name's Red. Ever since I was wee, I just loved the colour red. And I loved it that much my Aunt Jeannie started calling me Red. My real name's Mandy. Hardly anyone calls me that now. I live with my mum. My dad left us when I was wee, and we don't see him anymore.
It's quite good how you can just play the song you
doesn't
want.
keep well.
Track 4, my favourite song. I know you hate it, but you're not here anymore. I can play it any time, as loud as I like. School's out for summer.
Get those things out your ears and go and see your gran.
What? You'll need to go right away. Your gran's fallen again.
Go on, off you go, and make sure you go along Forest Road. Don't cut through the scheme. That young team that hang around there are wild. And keep those things at your ears so you can hear the traffic.
Where's my hoodie? Where you left it?
And don't slam the door. You've got really big teeth.
All the better for chewing your 5 a day, hen. If I were you, I would buy some flowers for your granny. Look, they have lovely bunches for £1 at the wee sweetie shop across the road there.
Okay.
So, you would say your grandmother is coping living alone?
I didn't think I would ever be doing anything like this, and it's just great to have the opportunity to come and, you know, be part of something like this. It's an achievement as well, I think, for all of us.
That's
Isn't
right.
it?
True. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I want to do something like this again. Absolutely brilliant.
It's been so therapeutic, and it really has helped a lot with my recovery. And I think you actually forget about your hang-ups, you know, after a wee while, you know, because you're concentrating on other things.
I've never done any voiceovers, top acting and things, you know. And I thought I could never do it. I knew I could sing, play the guitar, but not this.
Yeah, it's been totally different from anything I've ever known. And you've been so good at it. And I think so many people have put off so early on art, drama, music, lots of things, because it's so much about whether you're good at it at an early stage.
I was looking for something for Christopher to take part in and myself, and I just asked around, and I found out there was a drama group going on in Coatbridge, and I just walked in one day and asked if Christopher could join. I had no intentions of joining myself, I just wanted something for Christopher to do, and I used to take him every week and just sit in the background. And then it was one of the shows were coming up that night on stage. It says to me, put that hat on and walk across the stage. And that was it, that was me. From then on, I just started participating in the drama every week. I got hooked on it, you know, I just couldn't wait till Thursday to go down there.
Of the Hollywood Dreams retirement home. I can hear some of the residents approaching. I must disguise myself in order to blend in.
Would you like some more wool, Roger? Oh, you're a crumb nominator. Silly me.
And so, taking charge, the nurturing Mrs. Doubtfire encouraged the residents to sing and dance and relive all their favourite memories.
Christopher's got a lot out of it because I've seen a side of him that I've never seen before as well. He's confident, he's no nerves, and he remembers his lines, and he remembers my lines as well. I like the social side of things as well. Conversation is the best way of opening up to your feelings. Before you know, when you're talking about things that maybe you've bottled up, you always find there's people in the same situation as you, or have been in a situation in the past and they've came through it. And I'm not scared now to take part in anything, and I look forward to every single Thursday.
Dearest reader, or listener, I am writing this letter under the impression that I have somehow inspired you, and I sincerely hope that I have. I hope that I have shown you how it is possible to be anything you wish to be. It is possible to escape the shadows of religion and culture. It is possible to overcome the worst of experiences and remain positive. It is possible to ask for help without being weak in the eyes of others. It is possible to create a work of art with what is inside of you. I wish to tell you, dearest one, that though sometimes the future feels bleak and you feel like you are failing, don't ever give up. Don't ever quit. Paint that masterpiece, write that novel, build that home. Do whatever your heart desires and know that you will always be the best at being you.
I would say if somebody had a mental health issue or something they just wanted to forget about at home, then they should definitely take part in one of these classes, because I definitely forgot my life at home, and even 1 or 2 hours escaping to one of the classes done me the world of good. Now, after having a baby, 9 months he is now, I have been diagnosed with postnatal depression, and definitely if there was classes out there I would definitely take part in it, because I feel that with my mood being a little low at the moment, it would do me the world of good. As in doing this recording today. It's making me feel great, ecstatic.
They say that 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health problem, but we know that it's not any 1 in 4. We know that people who are socially isolated or are living in financial insecurity are at particular risk of experiencing low levels of well-being or increased risk of having a mental health problem. But we also know that people living in those circumstances are less likely to benefit from buffers against stress. Therefore, we do need to take very deliberate action to try and provide opportunities in a targeted way to people who are at highest risk. And the North Lanarkshire Connections project set out specifically to do that. An important part of the contribution that Bazooka Arts through the NL Connections project has made has been its legacy. Much of what has been achieved has been captured in film, in story, in book, in canvas, in photograph, and we've used those resources on a number of occasions over the years to bring the human element to our development programmes, whether that's with our staff or whether that's with the wider community, to touch on the hearts and minds and remind people about the human element of recovery, and on a wider basis to challenge stigma with a focus on promoting a much more positive understanding of mental health and well-being generally.